Hello everyone, you've joined me for another day of Read the Bible in Advent, and we're heading back to Matthew's Gospel because only in Matthew's Gospel does the account of the Magi appear, or the three kings as we sometimes sing. Well, we're not told how many Magi come, and this might have happened a little bit after Jesus was born, but let's have a look and see what God has to say to us today through the Magi coming to Jesus. Let's read the Bible in Advent. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, "Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him." When King Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. When he had called together all the people's chief priests and teachers of the law, he asked them where the Messiah was to be born. "In Bethlehem in Judea," they replied, "for this is what the prophet has written. But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." So we have here, after Jesus was born, Magi appear on the scene from the east. Now, there are some things that we don't know about the Magi, or we might call them the three kings or the three wise men in nativity sets. But we don't know how many there were, but we do know quite a bit about them. They are Parthian religious scholars, so from the kingdom or the empire of Parthia, and they were religious scholars who kind of specialized in astronomy or astrology, looking at the stars for spiritual guidance. And but they not only were scholars, but they were also part of the ruling elite. And they even had a hand in choosing the Parthian kings. And so they're interested in kings around the place. And so we read in Matthew's account that they travel from Parthia in the east across to Jerusalem. And there they meet, they're kind of royal dignitaries. And so they meet King Herod. And they're asking for the King of the Jews. Where is this one who has been born King of the Jews? And they particularly recognize that the King of the Jews has been born because they saw his star when it rose. Now, of course, there have been many theories about what this star is. Probably the best guess is Jupiter, kind of the royal star, rising into the constellation of Aries, which is a constellation of the Jewish people. And so they might have seen this, and that actually happened around the time that Jesus was born, around 6 BC. And so maybe that was the thing that they saw, but we can't know for certain. But they've recognized something in the stars that have said, okay, there's a king to be born of the Jews. And so they've come to Herod. But of course, Herod is the king, the Roman king of the region. And so he was disturbed, and then the whole city of Jerusalem was as well. And so he wanted to suss out where this king was, or whether this king has been born. And so he gathers the chief priests and the teachers of the law to say, where's the Messiah to be born? Where's God's king to be born? And they reply, in Bethlehem in Judea. And so Bethlehem is the place where the Messiah was to be born. They know that Bethlehem is the city or the town where David was born, the great king of Israel in the past. And the prophets have said that it will be Bethlehem as well. Bethlehem's just a little town, just about 8 kilometers outside of Jerusalem. It's not much to write home about, but it is the place where God said his king will come. Because we have this quote taken from Micah chapter 5. "But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. But out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." So these chief priests and teachers of the law knew that Bethlehem was the place. If there was going to be a Messiah come, if there was going to be a king to come, it was going to come out of Bethlehem. And he will be a ruler, a king, and he will shepherd the people of Israel. And so the Magi have got it right. They're heading to the right place to find the Messiah. The chief priests and the teachers of the law have got it right. The Messiah will come from Bethlehem. But the question is, as Jesus was born in Bethlehem, how will you respond to this baby born? Will you be disturbed by King Herod and all Jerusalem at the time, that there's a rival in town? You know, we often don't like having the thought of a king over us, even Jesus being our king, because that means that he needs our loyalty, not the things that we want to put our loyalty in, particularly our own glory and security. But instead, and so that might disturb us. However, we're called by God to put our trust in the King, the ruler who comes from Bethlehem, because he will shepherd his people. And so will you allow this day Jesus to be your shepherd and your king, to guide you and to lead you in paths of obedience to him for your good and for the glory of God?